Hello, it's Silje, and today I would like to do some kind of bookish chat. Um, I don't know, I recently read, currently reading kind of video, and yeah, I've been reading some books I want to talk about. Yeah, but first I would like to tell you all that here where I live, the autumn is over. We had our first snowfall this weekend, and it came a lot of snow. I think around 40 centimeters of snow, and today it's pretty cold. Yeah, -5 degrees Celsius, so yeah, it's early November, and even though it's bright and Christmassy, I feel like it's kind of too soon. But yeah, I live, I guess. I read a book last week that I would like to talk briefly about, and I read it due to the non-fiction November, hosted by Olive at the Book Olive and Gemma at Nonfic Books. And yeah, it's a non-fiction, obviously. This one, To søstre or Two Sisters by Åsne Seierstad. Åsne Seierstad is a Norwegian journalist. She has written several documentaries, and I think all of them has been translated. So I'm pretty sure that this one will be as well. Her last book was One of Us, where she talks about the terrorist attack in Norway in 2011, and she has also written the book The Bookseller in Kabul, and several others. And this book, To søstre, tells the story about two Norwegian Somalian girls and their radicalization and their travel and their escaping Norway to go to Syria and join the ISIS. This happened in 2013, and the girls are still in Syria. They are married there and have children. And yeah, so it tells the story about the girls and their journey from normal Norwegian Somalian girls and their way through the radicalization. It also tells the story about their family that are left behind here in Norway, about how they are coping with life, with the media. It's about religion, and she also looks at it in a wider perspective, and asking the question, why are so many young people in Western Europe being radicalized? Yeah, what is happening? What is it in this society that makes people that are growing up here and living pretty ordinary lives, what makes them choose this direction, or ISIS and other extremist groups? And I found it to be very interesting and fascinating. Also pretty scary, I have to say, and thought-provoking. I felt like I learned something. It made me think. And yeah, I think it's an important book, and it needs to be read, I think. So yeah, and this reading led to another book that I want to read this month, and it's called You Will Not Have My Hate by Antoine Léry. And Antoine Léry is a French journalist, and in November last year his wife was attending a concert at the Bataclan in Paris, and she was one of the victims of the terrorist attack. And this is a memoir about him and his loss and how he's coping with life without his wife. They had a son together, and it started off as an open letter to the terrorists on Facebook, where he told them that he would not give them his hate, he would not give them his fear. And I think that's so important. I think the terrorists want us to hate, they want us to fear, and I think that all this hate and all this fear just leads to more polarization in the society. That polarization may lead to more extremism and radicalization. So I think this will be a very emotional read for me. But I also think it's equally as important as the two sisters. So I think I might do a book talk about both of these books when I have finished You Will Not Have My Hate. And yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this, even though I'm quite scared. I don't know, I think it will impact me a lot. So yeah, so Two Sisters and You Will Not Have My Hate by Antoine Léry. I also read two other Norwegian novels the last week. One which I really enjoyed the style and the use of vignettes to tell the story, but I didn't like the content. It was kind of bland and boring. And the other one, where I think the writing style is just basic, but the story hit me very hard, and it's kind of funny because I don't like funny books. I do not read funny books that often, but I kind of like it when the books are funny with a sting, when you feel like the laughter is just stuck in your throat because you can relate so much to what's happening. So yeah, so I've been reading 3 books this past week, and that's pretty good to be me, I have to say. So now I will be reading the French book, but at the moment I'm feeling like reading maybe some classics again. It's been a couple of months, I think, since I read a classic. And I have 2 classics that was on my list for October that I need to get to. And the first one is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I've seen that a lot of people have read it and reviewed it the last weeks. So yeah, I think I need to read it myself. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Yeah, it's a classic, and it's a 1001 book as well. The other book I need to read is buddy read for October, and it's a reread for me. It's Persuasion by Jane Austen. So yeah, I've been meaning to do some more book talks, and my next talk will be about this book. It's The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, and it's a classic. It's well known, and I think it's pretty good. This book contains 3 short stories. It's the Yellow Wallpaper, and there's the more like horror ghost story called The Rocking Chair, and there's a very funny feminist piece called The Old Water, which I found to be delightful. So yeah, I will try to do the book talk during this week. Yeah. Thank you for watching. Ha det!